Let's start off. How is it developing art and creating art for the WaveRider, knowing that it is in this virtual reality world? How is working on the VR artist experience?
It's definitely a lot different. It allows us to do a lot of new and different things, but we also have to account for a lot of new and different things. So originally, whenever I would work on something like a sword, I would only think about the visual of it, the length of it, the reflections on the metal, the little bits of texture on it. But when we got this whole VR thing going, that's when now you have to actually account for how it looks in your hands. And so now you're thinking about how much it weighs, the rust on it, and even like the smell of it, So all of this is a lot of untapped ground, but I figure it's all good for the WaveRider experience.
With the WaveRider being such an immersive experience, it's been quite a challenge. I mean, you'll go to a bar and you have a live band playing and that music feels natural and organic, but when you're in the real world, silence is natural. That is the norm. You don't have background music for every day of your life, So with the WaveRider, it poses this interesting question. In video games, you're supposed to have tracks to kind of emulate the experience in your surroundings and where you are in the game. But how do you do that while still making it feel natural like you're in reality? So that was probably one of the most difficult parts, was trying to find music that blended but still felt organic, like you were really there.
This headset is easily decades ahead of its time, made by the geniuses over at GodTech. There's been so much we've had to deal with in terms of bugs. Our team has been working around the clock, trying to make it not feel like playing a worse version of Skyrim on your toaster.
The WaveRider, how was working with this proprietary piece of technology?
It's mind-blowing.
Well, the WaveRider does so much to bring things to life. Like this one NPC that was a farmer. I can tell you a story about how he went back to that barnyard and he got those eggs and those chicken breasts and thighs. Yeah!
Wonderful. Do you have any favorite aspects or anything that's unique or interesting? Maybe.
Did I stutter? I mean, in general, the whole process is incredible. My most important thing is to make sure that the player has the most amazing experience. And this WaveRider allows you to do that. Like, you could literally dive into this world and relive everything about this world through the eyes of yourself.
Can you tell us your experience producing a game and making sound for the WaveRider, for the virtual reality system that it is?
Yes, the WaveRider. Where do I begin? The WaveRider neurologically links up to your brain. Now, I'm no brain surgeon by any means, but do you trust it?
The WaveRider brings a lot of nuance to the sound, and it just really immerses the player. You think about iconic sounds like a lightsaber or a T-Rex roar that you've seen in movies or heard in games, but now we have to think about, okay, well, what does that sound like? What does your voice sound like in a helmet? Or what does that T-Rex roar sound like over the ridge versus up close? All those things change the way that the player hears the sound. And so we had to do things like recording footsteps, whether they're on gravel or grass, and even what kind of footwear the character is wearing. So all those things really bring the character to life, and if we mess any of that up, it could break the immersion, and we don't want to do that. So the WaveRider is an incredible piece of technology that lets us do that.
I mean, for one, I tend to wrap aluminum foil around my brain to protect it from interference for any particular thing. I mean, even aliens can't get through my brain. Now, there are several uses for aluminum that I think the government doesn't even want you to know about. For example, right, there's this one situation where I put aluminum on my dog. It started barking and I could understand exactly what it was saying. You can't tell me that's not useful information. Yes, I said useful, not just useful, but it's juicy and useful.
Yep.
You following me?
Yes, I have followed you.
This is proprietary information.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I might be going back a little bit here. First time Tenku and I heard about the WaveRider was at the TGA when Omen 3 won Game of the Year, of course. Afterwards, Michael Godfrey himself came up to us and told us it's going to change our lives. And well, the rest is history at this point. We see where it brought us.
GodTech purchased Fractal while Fractal was working on some of the older Omen games. Now with Omen 5, they've brought the WaveRider to life, and the WaveRider has many different uses outside of just a gaming accessory and periphery. But what has been the experience working under the GodTech umbrella?
Yeah, GodTech's newest project practically got me becoming a medical professional. I didn't know the human body could make so many different sounds.
It was definitely a change. Tenku was great, but GodTech has definitely helped me. They've pushed me to a whole new realm within my career. I mean, the audience that now gets to see my craft has grown astronomically. I mean, at the end of the day, I can't put into words how grateful I am for GodTech.
I remember growing up, GodTech was all my uncle would talk about. I always had praise for it. I certainly didn't expect to ever be in charge of anything for it, let alone Omen.
What's it like working for the global tech titan GodTech?
They own Fractal.
And how does that make
You know, us.
In general, GodTech is a story within itself. But there's not much more to say other than...
There is only one God, and that is in tech. And without them, I could not afford these holy-ass muscles. And just to tell you a little bit more about GodTech, I mean, they're like the Viagra of gaming. They keep it going all night. You just thrust and thrust till you keep going. And you got to give it your all. Because if you don't give it your all, you will fall.
How about your experience working for the multi-billion-dollar tech conglomerate GodTech?
Let me say this. GodTech is a multi-billion-dollar company. I mean, need I say more?
GodTech is a company that focuses on innovation first, application second. These geniuses came up with this harebrained idea that sounds absolutely ludicrous. And then they hunker down and build the frickin' nerve gear from Sword Art Online. Then they didn't even have anything for it.
Well, yes, there's more to be said about that. You know, they have a lot of things going on. And I personally believe that they are actually hiding something big in this building right now, in the basement. I mean, how can we speak to all those coolant machines and those servers? See, actually, they want you to believe that there's servers down there, but I know that it's more than that. I know. Listen, you hear that? Could be a Yeti.
I mean, we could fill libraries with stories of GodTech. Every year, Michael, Tenku, and myself go to AROMS.
And that is the American Organization for Research for Mental Health Disorders.
Yes.
Yep.
And so, like, one thing GodTech likes to do, being such a big umbrella, helps everything work cohesively, is he wants to find a way to use the technology to alleviate psychological concerns or some physiological issues that perhaps even like the WaveRider can help alleviate or at least help improve their lives. So GodTech allows us to be a lot more big picture of everything we're doing instead of just video games. And that's been a lot more enriching for our, I'd like to say, for all of our lives.
I'm convinced it's probably a Yeti. See, the temperature just went cold just out of nowhere because they have to keep it frozen. But I know they're not gonna fool me. There it is, there it is, there it is, you see? My phone just dropped because there's a force that's in this building and I'm convinced. Bigfoot, if you're here, I swear to God, I'm on your side. All right, go ahead, I'm sorry, I apologize.